Wall Street fantastic. Wall Street fantastic.
Fine goods for sale.
Fantastic. Wall Street fantastic. Oh, the 3000, that's the one 3000. I think it's too loud. I gotta turn down my sound a little bit.
What do you want?
Oh, the 3000, that's the one 3000. I think it's too loud. Man, I'll see if it works. It is what it is. Every single time I come back to ESO, I played for a while and then I leave it because I am underwhelmed by the lore, which I feel it could be so much better, but they kind of do it, but then they have a paywall or something. But you come to the game and you listen to the music and you see these landscapes for a game that is, I think Elder Scrolls is like 13 years old now, 14 years old maybe, I don't know, 12, something of that nature. And it's still holding up. They do something with the graphics where they sort of update them just a little bit so it doesn't look like a square, like Minecraft. The combination with the music and the lore and the little details that they put into the game. Yeah, so much potential. Alright. Too many menus as well. That's the thing that I'm getting very tired of in MMOs. Sure, no. Where do I get the new quest? Oh, DLCs, I think. Boys, Solstice. So let's track down, return Worm Coach. I'll be threat. Alright. Dark Fellowship. Let's see. Talk to meet Conjurer Normal. Where the hell?
You want to make some gold, Walker?
I know there's trouble on the mainland, but we could really use your help out on Solstice. There's plenty of riches to be had, and I'd be more than happy to take you along. Just say the word, and I'll get you to the capital city of Sunport.
Whoa, nice. Some sort of war. I think they're gonna do like some sort of a mid-season event of sorts. Kind of like it that they are still trying to get these like little events going and stuff. They're trying to get ESO to work. Oh, this is fantastic. It's another thing about MMOs and live service games when it comes to fantasy, when it comes to MMOs. They tried Fallout 76, they tried some of the other MMOs. I think for a successful MMO, you need to make it epic. You need to have this sort of like paradise sort of environment combined with a super like dark environment, but you need the fantasy themes in these games. Otherwise, if you have a game like Fallout 76 where everything is just like a post-war disaster, or even Dune Awakening where everything is like a deserted place, I think it's not always going to work. People get tired of these sort of depressive environments. Yeah, this looks amazing, actually.
Oh, here you are! Prince Azar told me to keep watch for you, Mainlander. I'm glad you showed up. We need all the help we can get. The Order of the Black Worm threatens to completely overrun Solstice. You may know them as the Worm Cult. This foul group of necromancers raised the Writhing Wall, cut our island in half, and gathered their forces outside Sunport. Luckily, the Stirk Fellowship followed the Worm Cult here. Oh, thank the Three Queens. A coalition of forces from the mainland consisting of the Fighters and Mages Guilds and the Three Alliances. In fact, Prince Azar is overseeing efforts to bring Fellowship forces to Solstice even as we speak. I'm sure he'd welcome your help. Report to Prince Azar outside the city. He's with Mage Feranor, about to summon the champions of the Three Alliances to Sunport. After that, he'll know where best to utilize you and will add you to the Fellowship payroll. You stand in Sunport, seat of House Corellania, and my home. When my ancestors came to Solstice, they found the island inhabited by Argonians from the mainland. For centuries, we have lived in peace with the Stone Nest and Tideborn peoples. In the middle of the First Era, my ancestors lost their realm in Hammerfell to the Ragada invasions, then were later banished from Somerset. A fate they brought upon themselves. Of course, we have changed our ways since those dark times. Once that was so, but now this is our home. Before the current crisis, Solstice had little interaction with the mainland. Though a few sailors and wandering merchants settled here, but most avoid Solstice. They consider the island to be cursed. Forgive me, I am Mermal, a mid-conjurer of the College of Rituals. I serve Regent Corinwe Corellania, Governor of Sunport. For the duration of this crisis, I have been instructed to help our new friends from the mainland in any way I can. Look east. See the giant spectral curtain looming over Sunport. That's the Writhing Wall. The necromancers of the worm cult conjured it when they revealed themselves here. It divides the island in two, forming an impenetrable barrier to the east. Eastern Solstice, the other half of our island. It contains ancient ruins and is home to the Stone Nest Argonians. But we had little commerce with them even before the Writhing Wall appeared. What's happening over there now, we can only guess. As Prince Azar explained it to me, they are enemies of the Worm Cult, a coalition of Tamriel's fighters and mages guilds, with some support from the Three Alliances. They thought they defeated them in the past, but the cult has somehow returned. I am told the Worm Cult launched an attack against the guilds, using deadly devices called Soul Reapers. They killed Guildmaster Merrick of the Fighters Guild, and captured Varnus Galerian, leader of the Mages Guild. Now, they're here. That's unclear. All we have ascertained is that they have been gathering their members and building their strength secretly in Eastern Solstice for some time. The Fellowship tracked them here and is in the process of summoning their own forces.
Are you here about a reward? For what?
What's the next step, Mage Farinor?
The portal anchors
Here to
when
join
you're
our
ready.
cause, comrade? We need every able body we can get. The Worm Cult killed Guildmaster Merrick, captured the leader of the Mages Guild, and attacked all three alliances with their Soul Reapers. They started this war. We'll finish it. Nonetheless, it is a war, and the Worm Cult is no minor threat. We came to Solstice to stop the cult and avenge our fallen comrades. But when we arrived, we encountered much more resistance than we anticipated. We had to send for reinforcements. Veterans from the Fighters and Mages Guilds, mostly. There are some soldiers from the Three Alliances here, too. An advance force of a greater army, once we convince the Alliances that the Worm Cult is truly as dangerous as they were last time. Oh, they are. But with the war in Cyrodiil still raging, they require more proof before committing more soldiers. In fact, Farinor and Mermal are preparing a portal for their representatives, champions to evaluate the situation personally. Take these portal anchors and place them around the area. Then tell Mage Farinor when they're set. I know little of such magic, but Gabrielle of the Mages Guild said they would stabilize the portal long enough for the final group to come through. That's unclear. Champions of some renown and their guards, I was told. The Dominion indicated it was sending someone close to the Queen. High King Emmerich promised a capable hero, and the Pact was even less forthcoming. I'm not sure who to expect. Yes, Gabrielle Benelay, acting leader of the Mages Guild, while Varnus Galerian remains a prisoner of the Worm Cult. She sensed a mystic emanation from the northwest and went to investigate. She left Farinor and Mermal to handle the final transport. Sunport has a city guard, but no army to speak of. But outside the city walls, only a handful of warriors protect the scattered villages, and the Worm Cult roams free. Sunport has held the cultists off so far. Barely. They welcome our assistance. We're still trying to figure that out. I thought the Worm Cult was broken forever when the Allied forces stormed Cold Harbor and stopped the plane meld. It appears they had a secret refuge on this island and regrouped there to form their latest plan. Nothing else makes sense. The Sunporters noticed suspicious new arrivals over the last few months, sinister figures slipping off to the wild eastern half of the island. Then the Writhing Wall appeared and cut the island in half. Ah, forgive me. I am Azar, son of King Faharajad of Sentinel and brother-in-law to High King Emmerich. It is my honor to command the Sturk Fellowship's campaign against the Worm Cult. Wherever they go, we will follow. And we will end them. After Guildmaster Merrick of the Fighters Guild died saving many lives from the Worm Cult, I was given temporary command of the guild. He was my mentor, and someone had to take the reins. When this new alliance needed a leader, that also fell to me. Yes, and before them I dealt with the withered hand of Sentinel. And long ago, my ancestors faced the necromancers of the ancient House Corlania. I have studied the wards they created to protect our honored dead. A little.
Are the anchors all in place, newcomer? This is trickier than it looks. We're summoning multiple people from several locations at once, and Solstice is riddled with ancient magics that can interfere with teleportation spells. Are the portal anchors in place? No, the next steps in the ritual are mine to perform, with a little help from Mermal, of course. Just stand right there and don't move until I finish. It's important that the ritual goes exactly as I intend. Stand back. This requires a special touch.
First, they will bring the foot soldiers through. Then the Alliance representatives.
What's happening? Gabriel didn't do it this way!
Such is the fate of all who defy the Black Worm!
Where's Farinor? Mermal, what just happened?
I do not believe it! Mage Farinor deliberately sabotaged the portal spell while the Alliance representatives were in mid-transport. Oh, I wish Gabrielle Benelay were here. She unraveled the spell in mid-teleport. I tried to salvage it, but barely managed to pull the shredded magicka back together. These soldiers were knocked senseless, but I think the representatives made it through after I diverted them from Sunport. Did you see the motes of light shooting off in different directions? Those were the representatives. Champions from the Old Meridia Dominion, Ebonheart Pact, and Daggerfall Covenant. They landed in Solstice somewhere. Do you have a map? I can sense two of the representatives roughly here and here. The third... I just do not know. I can sense nothing of the last representative's present location. Speak with Prince Azar. He may know what to do.
I do not believe it. Farinor sabotaged the portal. She spoke of the Black Worm. She's one of the cultists. But what became of the Alliance representatives? Did they make it to Solstice? Damn that Farinor! The Dominion, the Covenant, the Pact, they promised to send their best to assess the situation. We need those representatives, or the Alliances will never commit more troops. Wherever they wound up, we need to find them.
Your character, interesting. I'm falling asleep here. Alternate plight associated with the player's choice, sometimes two alternate paths in a story. Free, merciful, ruthless, joker, flirty. I haven't heard of these, but it's interesting that they got this new sort of role player response. So you don't just snooze through the whole thing like I was doing. I think they speak too slow, to be honest. This is a problem that I've always found with ESO. Very good voice acting and everything, but everything. So the story is very basic. It's an MMO story, which becomes very basic in terms of Elder Scrolls lore. So when they go to their line so slowly, being overly basic, it just slows everything down. So I think this is a nice little touch that they do so you can kind of interact with it a little bit. Or injured local alliance. It's like different thing. The alliance representatives can away with find further make her pay for the betrayal. Okay, yeah, I'll look for the injured. I'll be a good guy, I guess.
Injured? This is nothing but a minor inconvenience. Still, I thank you for the offer and will accept your help graciously. Locate the Alliance representatives and send them to Sunport. I also need you to find Gabrielle Benele. We need her back here. I did. She currently leads the Mages Guild. When Gabrielle sent something to the northwest, Veranor directed her to an old temple. After all this, I fear Gabrielle may be in danger. Tell her to get back here. I'll wait in the city's west square.
I'll send back to Sunport. Okay. Alright, so betrayal and some of these dudes died. What's this? That's cool. What exactly is this thing? All these geometrical shapes just shifting and dancing remind me of the Naru in World of Warcraft. Very interesting. Some sort of ethereal magic here. Okay. Pop ship over here. Looking at the boat now. First I'll go here. Jeez. What the hell? It's like a Muppet. Alright, so let's get back to There, whatever it is, thanks local peace, and there are dark-clad strangers skulking along the road nearby. We're leaving if you return and find us gone. Look for us near Shell-Tide Village. Maybe it will be safe there. 3 kids. Something terrible has happened to Wormstone Village. A wall of spirits appeared. Cut her valley in half. So it's this thing, which is the reading wall or the writing wall, I don't know how they pronounce it, is actually a wall of spirits, it seems. That's kind of an interesting concept, especially to think that these supposed summoners or whatever they are, cultists, they kind of want to do the plain mail. It takes from the story, the original story of ESO, the whole plain mail, the whole thing about the Elder Scrolls of bringing oblivion into Tamriel. So these are spirits. That's kind of a dark theme to the whole thing, which brings that balance between the paradise sort of island and this very negative thing of spirits and whatnot. I kind of dig this whole area. This looks like Mayan or Aztec sort of ruins of sorts with the Arconian architecture and whatnot. It's kind of nice.
Who's there? Show yourself. You're no worm cultist. Good. Maybe you can help me then. I'm supposed to be in a city called Sunport on the island of Solstice, but clearly, this ain't Sunport. In fact, I have no idea where the Tusk I landed.
Okay, this is bugged out. They didn't give me any text for some reason, but I was actually paying attention to the NPC when he was telling his story. I think ESO should have the option to remove the text. That way you can actually pay attention to what they say. I think you would be more integrated in the story. Let's try again. Oh, that's because I removed my UI. I'm such a moron.
You're no worm cultist.
Salted the
Good.
worm called
Maybe you can
sabotage
help me
portal.
then. I'm supposed to... a sabotaged portal. At least I'm not on the wrong island entirely. Portal mishaps can be a lot worse than arriving slightly off target. As for this place, looks like necromancers have been busy here. See that giant ghost wall behind me?
Let's call it the writing wall.
Ain't that a delightful name? I ducked into this hut to take a break from fighting off the hungry critters outside. I was just about to look around, but now that you're here, you can help. Then I need to find Princess Za and get caught up on things. I say we start with that weird barrier. What did you call it? The writhing wall? I poked at it already. It's pretty solid. It stinks of necromancy. Oh, and when we finish here, point me towards Sunport, all right? I hate being lost. Fitting name. Yeah, I ain't seen anything like it, and I've seen a lot. I pushed at the wall, but couldn't get through. The local critters shy away from it too. Makes you wonder what the worm cult's hiding on the other side. Me? I'm Scordo, soldier for hire, wanderer, brawler, member of the Fighters Guild, author of the Adventurer's Almanac. Yeah, I'm literate, don't look so surprised. Anyway, guess I'm here to represent the Daggerfall Covenant. I helped High King Emmerich out of a tight spot once, and I was with the Fighters Guild in Cold Harbor and again when the Worm Cult returned. So I got a history with those bastards. It would have come no matter what, but I'm happy to represent Emmerich. Is that a letter? Might be important. hostages and a vital shipment. Interesting. Prince Azar should see that note, pal. See? The whole wall's made of ghost stuff, but nothing goes through. Huh. Not sure what to make of all this.
That's really cool. You can actually see the souls kind of going up and down through this writing wall of swords. Very necromantic. I am really digging this sort of dark turn in ESO. Don't usually do it like this. A little bit they've been doing it, but it's actually kind of green in a sense. It's a very good contrast with the very fluffy paradise sort of island you're in here. Cool.
Look, I appreciate you coming to find me. I could have wandered around for days before I found my way to Sunport. But hang on to that letter. It might shed some light on what the worm cult's up to. Make sure you get it to Prince Azar. Not a Tuscan clue. I just got here. But Scythe Knights are low-ranking cult leaders. Sergeants, you might say. I'd guess there was a worm cult nest posted here until they got orders to move on. Tunnels? Mines? Who knows? I'm more interested in this important cargo the worm cult wants to protect. Damn cultists are always up to something. Guess I'd better head to Sunport and check in. Which way was it again?
cool.
At last, someone arrives. On behalf of the Nord Cultural Exchange, I request assistance. Greetings! I am Ysmer of the glorious expedition for the Nord Cultural Exchange, and the village before you is Shore's Stand. It houses a great community of proud Nords who, frankly, will not listen to a word we say. The Sturk Fellowship tasked us with getting the people of Shore's Stand to ally with us against the Worm Cult. A fine idea, except that Brit the Bold is in charge. She's too inexperienced, and the villagers are too stubborn to listen. It's not her fault. The villagers sent the rest of our envoy away. Brit's too stubborn to leave. She gets that from her brother. She needs help, and I have failed her once already. Will you aid her? The exchange pays well, as does the Fellowship. Brit's in the square. Last I saw, she was doing her best to dazzle the speakers of the village. Her brother Rigert would be proud. I must return to Sunport. Prince Azah of the Sturk Fellowship expects a report on our progress, or lack thereof. King Yoren started the exchange to help bring the various factions of the Ebonheart Pact together. Since he was committing forces to the war against the Worm Cult, he figured we'd be helpful in connecting with the locals. So far, not so much. Very much so. Our leader, Rigert the Brash, is a genius at diplomacy. He plays the fool, but always achieves his goals. I wish he were here, and not busy with a secret mission of his own. I just hope his little sister is half the diplomat that he is.
Rigert would like to speak words with you, my friend.
Rigert goes where the winds of diplomacy take him, and wherever the Scold King sends him, as long as there's mead. And rabbit meatballs. Rigert loves rabbit meatballs.
Out of the way, Rigert. Don't you have a task of your own to accomplish? Leave this to me.
Shore's bones. Rigert knew he should have brought more mead.
Rigert has a mission of his own to accomplish, but he is easily distracted. Now I sense the dust of many travels on your scales. You must be with the Stirk Fellowship, who I came to meet. But why was I dropped into a worm cult nest? The Mages Guild? I expected trouble from the Dominion or the Covenant, but not one of the guilds. I am lucky to have reached Solstice at all, although it did not seem so when I landed in this pool of slaughterfish. So where is Prince Azar? Good. I'll make my way there and find the prince. Rigert and I were dropped into the bog of a hungry Hajmota. Still, I do not think the worm cult was happy to see me. Just ask the ones bleeding on the ground. This worm cult encampment makes one thing clear. Matters on Solstice are very serious indeed. We have much work to do. I must assess the situation and send my report back to the Ebonheart Pact as quickly as I can. What, did you think Yoren would have sent that buffoon Rigert for such an important task? I am called Walks in Ash. I was born a slave to House Drez, and raised in the shadow of the Tormented Spire. I earned my freedom, but remained in Stone Falls. To work for the freedom of others. When the Akaviri invaded Morrowind, I rallied my people to go to the aid of the surrounded Nord and Dark Elf armies. That was the egg from which the pact was hatched. We won our freedom with our valor. King Yoren hoped to send Lyris Titanborn, but she was not available. He asked me to go in her place. I am not as mighty a warrior as Lyris, but I fought alongside the Mages Guild in Cold Harbor. The worm cult is a foe I know well.
Stick your Stirk Fellowship where the sun sets, Mainlander.
But we can help each other. Rid Solstice of the worm cult.
We have a bigger problem than the worm cult.
This is fascinating. Fascinating. Would you look at this place? Oh, I know it's just a ruin now. But once, this was a magnificent courtyard to the Grand Temple beyond, consecrated to the Daedric Prince of Light, Meridia. It seemed so peaceful. Varanor? A traitor? When I sensed power here, calling to the staff of Vanus Galarian that I carry, she told me about this old temple. I got so caught up admiring the site that I haven't found anything yet. But what of the Alliance representatives? That's something, at least. This place reminds me of a dear friend, Darian Gautier, who served Meridia. I still can't believe he's gone. Perhaps Meridia has a message for me, or the staff wants something here. Can you help me search the area? There. While I hold my spell of searching, you examine anything that glows.
Spell of searching. Not a fan of it, not a fan of it. Lady of Light. Heal all beloved. Song of the Bell shall be light made tangible, so shall the door to the bright lady's realm be opened unto you. Walk in the colored rooms, glorify the Lady of Light, and gain her blessing for all their days. Very interesting. This is actually interesting.
An old tome. A lucky find. Age is not kind to paper.
I've always find Meridia to be one of the most interesting Daedric goddesses figures. Meridia idol. Oh, this is so cool actually. The small idol depicts Meridia, Daedric Prince of Light.
That idol confirms this was indeed a temple of Meridia.
Temple of Meridia, eh? Very, very interesting. I think there was a whole expansion about Meridia in the Elder Scrolls Online, but I totally missed that. I wanted to play it, but I think I totally missed that. Something else. Temple courtyards. Oh, this way. It's right here. Oh, it's another one. There it is, little statue of Meridia. Very cool.
A temple bell. Nearly pristine considering the age
That's a
of this
bell,
place.
yes. Very cool. So it's a full temple of Meridia in the middle of this zone, which is inhabited by the elves and the Argonians as well. Now, the reason why I find Meridia to be such an interesting Daedric goddess is because she erases the line between evil and righteous Daedric gods and goddesses. And when I was playing Oblivion Remastered, I actually finished the storyline, the main storyline, which I had never finished before. And you realize that in the Mysterium Sarxis, they talk about him. They talk about this has to do with I forgot about it. I made a whole video about it. But there is light in the Elder Scrolls lore. And I didn't know this because I was very drawn to the whole concept of light in World of Warcraft, but not in the Elder Scrolls. But when you go deeper into it, you find that the theme of light, it has to do with Anu and Padme. I think Anu is in ancient Elven lore or Elven language, Anu is the representation of light itself, and Padme being the opposite, the goddess of chaos or something of that nature. It's the void, it's the darkness, it's all of that. So, as I said, when you go beyond the lore, you realize that this concept of light, it goes beyond religion. It is in literally every single religion that you can find. And as I said in the latest altered state of consciousness studies, when people have a transcendental experience or they die, neither experience, so on and so forth, they see this theme of light. They literally have a light talking to them, or they see beings of light. So I find how we find this theme in lores and fantasies really interesting. I'm wondering if they will keep going with Meridia in this expansion. I'm already a little bit surprised. I thought this was gonna be completely basic expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm already enjoying it a little bit. Let's see.
The items you uncovered are tied to the power that drew me here. I can sense a powerful blessing of Meridia sleeping in that bell.
Look, an idol and a bell, I don't understand.
Meridia was a powerful ally when we fought Molag Bal in Cold Harbor to end the plane meld. I think I was drawn here to remind me she could help us against the worm cult again. Maybe Vanas reached out through the staff to guide me. I can't quite tell.
You choose this spell against the worm cult.
Maybe, but I'm not sure how. The bell is rather heavy. Besides, the tome you found suggested opening doors, not blasting evil. I'll need to think about this. Thank you for your help here. I'll see you back in Sunport.
That was actually a really interesting tome, for sure. Oh, it's gone. Oh, maybe I'll get it back when I look at this video back again. Temple of Meridia. Really, really cool. Quite interesting. So the whole idea of the plane meld, something that I found out while I was playing Oblivion, the main storyline, is that it turns out, and I didn't know this, like I've been a fan of the Elder Scrolls for a long time. It turns out that, well, at least there's a theory that Mundus, Tamriel, reality as we know it, is just another realm of Oblivion, to which Mehrunes Dagon, or the heads of the Daedric Pantheon, claim to be the owners of such world. This is why it's the battle between the Daedra and the Aedra. They think they own this world, and this ties to some deeper real life theories having to do with the fallen angels and Gnosticism and so on and so forth. So I find it already really interesting. Coming back to the original story of the Elder Scrolls Online, and how they want to bring back this plane meld. Everything about the Elder Scrolls is the story of the plane meld. Combining this idea of hell, in a sense, or the void, these astral realms, with the world of matter, with this reality. It is very, very interesting. And it's have to say, even though dated, even though a little bit plasticky, as ESO has always been, the combination of the detail of the lore, the accuracy of the lore, the environment, and the music that this game always provides is something really, really cool. I'm glad that they keep these things going even after 12 or however many years. really cool. Love the sound, love the architecture, love the music. Already on a good start. I was sleeping and snoozing a little bit a while ago. That's okay. It's okay. The environment makes up for it. Wait, where am I going here? This is I gotta get rid of the other stories. I gotta focus on the main story, otherwise I'll get overwhelmed. It just happens to me a lot. Main quest, self-driven. If I really like the main story, I might actually do the side quests, but otherwise I'm just gonna stick to the main story. I gotta go back to Oblivion Remastered at some point. Like I know wearing a shirt. There. He's just gonna stand there. Bro, come on.
Never suspected a thing. Farinor had us all fooled.
Well, it looks like 2 of the Alliance representatives have finally arrived. It's good to see 2 waylaid guild members return safely to the fold, though I must remember to treat them as agents of the alliances they represent here on in. As for those injured by Farinor's treachery, they have recovered, including me. Mage Farinor missed her chance to eliminate me and the representatives, but she cost us time. While we tended to our wounds and recovered the scattered representatives, the Worm Cult was free to act. Mermal believes they survived the portal mishap and are on Solstice, somewhere. We must trust they will turn up soon. In the meantime, we must celebrate what victories we can, and make ready for the next stage of our operation. All in good time, comrade. First, your efforts to bring together the Alliance representatives helped us overcome Farinor's sabotage. We survived the Worm Cult's first blow. Next, we shall deal them one of our own. Please, accept this with my thanks. We're still 1 Alliance representative short, but we can wait no longer. It's time for a council of war. Indeed. We need to consult with Regent Corinway. Sunport's aid is crucial to our campaign. When last we spoke, she said she would meet with her advisors and send word. But that was days ago. Plans must be finalized between the Fellowship and Sunport. High Elves can be deliberate about such things. The Worm Cult, however, does not stand still. It is time to press Regent Corinway for a decision, and I would like you to join us. Will you help me win Sunport's cooperation, comrade? I hate badgering Regent Corinway, but the Fellowship is already at work. I sent our forces to seek allies and search out trouble across Western Solstice, but I worry House Corellania may not welcome our efforts. Meet me at Venutilmo Palace, comrade. Not at all. High elves are not given to hasty decisions. In my father's court, I learned that how you approach an elf of high rank is just as important as what you actually plan to say. A certain amount of formality and ritual can't be avoided. Oh, she knows the danger of necromancers quite intimately. But convincing her own court may not be an easy thing. Solstice has known peace for centuries, an enemy at the gate. Many of Sunport's people do not want to accept their peril. Regent Corinway seems to be a capable leader who cares about Sunport and all of Solstice. I called upon her when I first arrived. We are bringing a small army to her realm. I felt it best to assure her of our intentions before she assumed an invasion. Regent Corinway has no desire to see her people caught up in someone else's war. Yet she recognizes that her hope for peace will not protect her from the Worm Cult. She agreed to let me bring our forces here and to consider joining our fight. My people have a history with House Corlania. Long ago, the High Elves ruled Hammerfell. When my ancestors came to Tamriel, they found no welcome from the Corlanias. Unable to defeat the Regatta in open battle, the elves called upon dark powers. Necromancy most vile. The Corlanias turned my ancestors' own dead against them. Only the creation of the sacred Anse wards put a stop to the carnage. The Regatta finally prevailed and drove the Corlanias from Hammerfell. I am told they abandoned their necromantic ways centuries ago. Certainly, I have noticed nothing untoward on their part since I arrived here. But the Corlanias are not remembered kindly in Sentinel, and Sunport's elves are very much aware of that.
Okay, you can get all of that. Thingies. Very interesting. Going back to Elder Scrolls Online, it's been a surprising positive experience. The attention to detail, the sticking to the lore, the environments, the music, it all makes it happen. This is an important expansion for Elder Scrolls Online because there are no MMOs out there. Everything is dead. Dune Awakening, it's not gonna work out. It's an MMO. There's no MMOs coming. People are playing the same MMOs that they've been playing for a long time. And the whole thing that is happening with the gaming industry, dealing with people getting fired and projects being cancelled and ZeniMax having their MMO cancelled, there's a lot of pressure on the Elder Scrolls Online to remain a viable MMO and to remain a good game, which I think has totally the potential to do it. I think it was maybe a blessing in disguise that these other MMO got cancelled. We don't need 20 mid-tier MMOs. We need a few good ones, and I think if they keep paying attention to detail, to the lore in ESO, the details, the graphics, the music, the environments, they get a really good game on their hands. Now, one of the things about the Elder Scrolls lore and the way that they deliver their story, even though everything is voice acted and so on and so forth, it has to be very basic because it's still an MMO. It still has to be straightforward and so on and so forth. But one of the things that I love about the game is that even in its basic nature, even though they cannot really add anything actually new to the lore, they do this fantastic job at enhancing the overall lore of the Elder Scrolls. Little details, this aspect of Meridia as being the goddess that You don't know if she's righteous, you don't know if she's evil, she's supposed to be a Daedric god, so does this mean that not Daedric gods are not inherently evil? This is one of the big questions, and it's a deeper philosophical question when it comes to the larger question of good and evil. So I'm really surprised about this little expansion. I hope it keeps on bringing good things. I'm gonna go through the whole thing because there are simply no MMOs. I'm surprised that it's kind of good. Good start of Solstice for me.
Getting ahead with Legion practice takes hard work and determination.
The Sturk Fellowship is here to help, but most of the city treats us like invaders.
How would you react if an army suddenly appeared in your city?
If they were there to help us against the Worm Cult, I'd welcome them with open arms.